Well, yes, and to be honest, I want to do a lot less war and a lot more. I mean, I don't just cover war, to be honest. I mean, I never know how to describe it. So I always, it's not what you focus on. So conflict and underground activity, like I'm very interested in the darker aspects of just life, the world, whether that be criminal networks or strange internet rabbit holes, mysteries, whatever. I'm very interested in stuff like that. And I have, over the last couple of years, I've been venturing into. I've always been in doing that stuff, but I've ventured into it a lot more recently. I've very, very heavily focused on war for most of my kind of career in some ways, but I've always been doing it. But now I'm doing a lot more of it, and it's funny you ask that because I have been planning a series that I'm gonna make myself. And the way we've described it, me and one of my guys from my team, a couple of us are gonna make and do it. It's gonna be the best shit ever. We've described it as in the deck that we've written up as think of Weird Weekends and Wicker's World on steroids. Like, we want it that we're gonna call it Away Days, and the idea is we just go. It's journalism, but it's from a it's basically like what we want to do is reinvent the old. Back in the 90s, you had this stuff, right? You had like I said, Weird Weekends. Oh, Louis Theroux goes and spends a weekend with some like fringes of society you don't hear about, right? But we want to do that for the modern era. We want to do it in the way that I do it. We want to, for example, I don't really want to talk too much about what we got because we got access to stuff that we might lose. But we're gonna well, one I can talk about. There's like a gang in Brazil. They're in charge of their favela, which not a new story, but basically the government has kind of said to them, you know what, you be the fucking government, and the police aren't even in there now. And now this gang is having to literally learn how to be a government. Yeah, and like people ring them up like someone stole my bike, and some 18-year-old comes down and shoots at somebody's knees. And we want to spend a week with these people and find out how does this work. Because okay, on the outside, oh, these bad kids with guns. Yeah, sure, I'm sure they're bad kids. I'm no fun. I'm no fan of like a community being filled up with drugs, but there's a lot more to it than that. So we want to get behind these things and learn the characters behind them and find out what's going on there. And there's some other stuff we're gonna do. There's a real serious. I mean, some of the stuff like you'll find out info. Some of the stuff no one has done it before, and some of the stuff, yeah, people have done it before, but they ain't gonna do it like us. I really believe that. And there's a new drug in America called Trank. This is like a different episode we're gonna do, and there's a whole community. It's like crocodile. I don't know if you remember that from the Vice days. It rots your flesh. Within a month of taking it, you can see your bones. You can see through the arm. It's crazy. So a lot of the homeless people in Philadelphia are dying from it, and so we're gonna spend a week with them. Not necessarily just with them, but like there's a lot of like aid crews that are helping them and find out where did this come from? Why are people mixing weird chemicals? Where's the heroin gone? Where's the OxyContin gone? And how do they get like that? Mostly the doctor. You know what I mean? Like just really get under the skin and get into hardcore, crazy, rough, harsh, sometimes funny aspects of the fringes of society and just present it unfiltered in the way that we do our stuff. Just be like, hey, this is happening. Here's the people behind it. We're right in the thick of it. That's the idea as well. We're right in the thick of it. We're not I've never been one to be on the sidelines. We're right in the middle of it. Here it is, and present it to the world like that. And I spoke to a few TV companies, and they liked it, and and every single one wanted to water it down or change the direction. And our thing is like, no, absolutely not. It will not be watered down. You will not water down something like that, and we won't bend that way. So yeah, I'm gonna fund the pilot myself. Like we've got the first episode. It's gonna be mad. It's gonna be mad actually. People are gonna be very surprised. And we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna maybe try and get a funder or maybe a Kickstarter or something like that. But that's what I'm focusing on now. That's how we're going forward. Not to say that I'm not still doing all the Popular Front stuff. Popular Front is going full speed. In fact, like through that will help Popular Front as well. We're doing all different things. We've got a few other things planned. That's going great. Where it's going up and up and up. But yeah, that in terms of like to answer your question, yeah, that's what we want to do next. It's been a thing on my mind when people ask me this question. It's always been that. And this last year, I've been like, fuck it, man. Let's just do it. Like, let's work it out. Let's put money aside. I've got my guys that have been with me from like day one, and they're like, yeah, forget the money. We'll work that out afterwards. Let's go and do it. We'll pay for our own flights. We'll all do our thing. We'll stay in. We'll live in a gutter for a week if we have to. Like, we'll just do it. We'll get it done. And then once it's done, it's done. Then we'll work everything else out. So we're going to do it like that. We're going to go back to like the old school, like rag and tag way we did things before. We've always kept it that way, but we've tried to make things a little bit, I don't know, we try to professionalize things, which is good, also a good thing to do, but certain things is just, it costs a hell of a lot of money to make documentaries, basically. Not as much as commissioning editors make out, not as much as mainstream TV makes out, but it does cost a lot of money. And so we're going to work out a way of doing it. But yeah, man, that's what we're going to do. And another thing I would like to do is I would love to have like, I don't know if you ever remember this, but back in the day, they had like video magazines. Like when we were coming up, it was like a video magazine show. I mean, they still exist, but like MTV would do them, you know, like, I mean, Jackass was kind of a video magazine. You got a bit of skating,
right.
bit of madness.
Yeah.
Not that I want to do stunt ring, but I want to bring like a cultural thing like that together as well, where it's not just me, it's all different people and like different, just like, you know, like a series like that with cool, I don't know, graphics in between, like just something old school, something different, but that's that again. But again, it's money. You know, I got to start playing the lottery. You know, Popular Front does well to put itself out there, but it's fucking expensive. You know, we make a loss of around £5,000 to £15,000 every doc we make, a loss. You know, so because we can't monetize on YouTube, they banned us monetizing. So, but we do all right on the Patreon. You know, we got a good community on the Patreon. We offer a lot of free. We offer a lot of paywall stuff there, which people pay for, which, you know, it works out nice. We sell a lot of merchandise, a lot of t-shirts. We put a lot of thought into that. It's not just fucking, you know, spring. It's not that. It's like proper. Like we try to kind of model it on the way Palace does things, like a proper clothing brand. But, you know, we like, there's no guns on our stuff. You know, there's no like cringe stuff. It's all like, we try and do it proper. So that's making us money, and believe it or not, like we got to a point where like t-shirts are funding documentaries, which I think is a cool way of doing things. But something's got to give. We can't keep going at this pace. But hopefully this will be the thing that breaks through. Yeah, I hope, or I go bankrupt.
I don't think you'd accept that based on the content of the interview.
Man, I've been broke like 90% of my life, and I always have this feeling of, I live through that, I can go back to it if I have to. You can't be scared of losing. You know what I mean? You can't be scared of losing.